Welcome to Marketing Fitness. In this video, I will explain to you the program, what you can expect, why we call it Marketing Fitness. I actually have one of my early students, Ephraim. We are in Nashville in their office. The reason we're here because I wanted to show you the results, not only the promise. It's marketing program, but I don't want to have marketing promise. I want you to immediately start with the results, which you can expect. And Marketing Fitness is a program where we take a fitness approach to marketing. We're going to give you 5-day per week program with the daily sessions, exactly what you're going to be doing to get results like this. So I asked Ephraim to print last 3 months of leads. So backstory on Ephraim, he was a commercial contractor for years. You contacted me in December last year.
I came here in December or January.
So pretty much 6 months ago, we connected. He asked me to come to his office. He was a commercial contractor. We started with a brand new residential division, from changing a name, building brand new website, from scratch. So this company, this operation did not exist. And there's so many roofing contractors out there who struggle to get leads. And I've been in business for about 15 years now, 7 years in the roofing business. I never door knock. I never had to do any crazy stuff with marketers. I just understood how to market myself, and this is what we teach. This is what we do. So every Friday we're gonna give you next week exercises. So you're gonna see every day, and this is kind of stuff we're gonna be doing. So now let's talk about results. So Ephraim here had a commercial company. What did you do for marketing for commercial?
Direct mail.
Direct mail. That's it. One method. If it's not broken, don't fix it. They did not, and you were doing 4 or 5 million.
Yeah, last year we did, right under 5. Yeah.
So he already had a team, he already have a base, but besides that, nothing branding. He did not understand residential roofing. He didn't know how to get jobs, how to find them, how to sell them. Even today we're talking about products to sell. Does brand, we even might have a conversation about changing brands and shingles they install. So that was his level when he got to it. And we started with firing their website company immediately. So
a marketing company.
Marketing
They weren't even doing my website. They were supposed to do my website.
They're supposed to do his website, his Facebook page. By the way, guys, if you need my help, if you have a marketer right now who takes a lot of your monies and does not deliver, I don't care if they do Facebook, Google, it's a two-way street. If you pay in money, you're supposed to get results. I don't believe in 12 months agreements, and we got out of that one. So they wanted to charge you $5,000 a month for 12 months, but they failed to build a website, and the leads from Facebook were not a good leads at all.
Yeah, and just to clarify on that, coming from commercial, and just like you said, I didn't know anything about residential besides hiring our GM, Elmer, who's sitting here. He's brought all of the knowledge for residential side besides, outside of you and him, I didn't have a clue. So that's why we hired a marketing company. I never liked marketing companies prior, but I was like, well, we got to get on the map. We're changing the name. We got to get on the map to get our residential awareness out, if you will. But that just wasn't working.
They did not work.
Yeah.
So what we did, we set up a kind of plan. He came to a roofing process conference, got fired up with his team, and then we started using pretty much the difference between Ephraim and a lot of guys in the industry. He represents top 5%. I give the same advice to everyone. The challenge is most people listen to advice and never do anything. I have one guy in Indiana for a year, 1 year exactly. He's been asking me, and I've been telling him about Google Guarantee. I'm like, dude, you have to get on Google Guarantee. You have to. And a year later, he calls me. He's like, Dmitry, you're smart. I'm dumb. I'm like, why? He's like, I just signed up for the Google Guarantee and I have 4 leads first day. Why didn't I do it earlier? Because there's not much that I can teach, but everything you can do. You have to do the activity. And with Ephraim here, he does the activity. You show him the way, you tell him to sign up for something and how to use it, and he's just gonna do it. I wanna start with the vehicle reps, because vehicle reps for me, it's sacred in marketing. You get the highest return on investment. You rep the vehicle, and it's gonna see anywhere from 30 to 80,000 cars per day. millions in a lifetime. I mean, you put 15, 20,000 miles per year. That's a lot of eyeballs, a lot of impressions. But I wanted you to hear from people who actually do it. What's your experience with the vehicle reps?
So when we were in commercial, we only had white trucks, like service beds, and then we'd have the logo on the door, the website on the back tailgate. That's it. Like, it was simple, cut and dry. Commercial, it's not that big a deal.
It's not sexy.
It's not sexy, no, but it's commercial. People typically they're not as aware as far as, like, you may not, well, I'll retract on that, because then what happened is we went, never forget Benjamin's words. I think it was Benjamin at Roofing Process Conference. It was like, white trucks aren't sexy. So we came back from there.
Roof Tiger.
We came back from there. We wrapped the company car we had. We wrapped my truck. We started wrapping kind of we're now taking all of our white trucks and wrapping them because this is year to date, but really this was
by the way, this
3
is
months.
last 3 months. They've done $1.5 million worth of business. Brand new company, first year in business as a residential contractor. 1.5 million, and how many vehicles?
Well, we have 25 truck graphic calls, and so now this only has as jobs one as one, but this jobs one is not completely up to date or accurate. Regardless,
but let's talk about dollar amount.
390. I don't know what this is. I don't know what this is referring to.
They just print a report. But overall,
Okay.
do you remember getting calls? And
Yeah. All of a sudden, after we started wrapping vehicles, Elmer, tell me how many calls we got last year where people were like, "Oh, we saw a truck." Can you remember of one? Maybe. Okay. Maybe, I can't remember one. Then all of a sudden, every week, JT, who is our office administrator, answers the phone, prints me a report. And all of a sudden it was boom, boom, boom. Every week there was 4, 3, 5 truck calls off trucks. And so that was we had our trailers wrapped, but most times our trailers go to a job site and they're standing there, sitting there. And then the trucks are going back and forth to the hotels so yeah, that's a huge thing.
Funny thing is, I always tell people to wrap the vehicle right away. People usually don't do it for 2 reasons. Number one, they're skeptical about results. They don't think they're going to get leads. And number two, they actually don't want a liability, because when you become a target, if you do shoddy work, if you're not a good contractor, people will call you out on that. I mean, now you have to actually drive by speed limit. You cannot speed in the neighborhoods. So you have to be a good guy. It's actually accountability too. And I love it, because if my employee drives a wrapped vehicle, I promise you, the moment he drives on the shoulder or does something illegal, we're going to get a call, which is a good thing. But a lot of contractors don't do it.
Once or twice here.
Yeah, I mean, but it's a quick lesson to learn.
Yeah.
And now you realize, hey, you represent your company everywhere you go. But I want you to think about, like, what kind of contractor you want to be. Do you want to hide? I mean, people also say that they don't want to, if you do bad job, now everybody will know that you did a bad job.
Yep.
So it's only for the good guys. But I would say I never ever met a contractor who wrapped the vehicles and who did not have similar testimony. Like, usually this is how it goes. They're like, "Oh, I wish I did it earlier." And again, if you don't have a wrapped vehicle, this is the first thing in my book that you have to do, and we can help you with the design and all of that. What else did you do?
One of the first things you told me was find the company that is the most prominent online in the area and reverse engineer what they're doing. And that was the biggest thing. And I just told you this before we went on camera. But so when we changed our name in the midst of all this, and you typed in Glick Roofing, it brought up several companies from Pennsylvania. Now, 3 months later, if you type in Glick Roofing, the only thing you're going to see is our stuff. And the reason is, like, Thumbtack, that's how I even thought of Thumbtack. Thumbtack, I mean, there's Nextdoor, Thumbtack, Better Business Bureau, we were already there. That's when I did the Google verification.
Google guarantee.
I've always been good with our Google listing and posting stuff and pictures, and we've always been very prominent on that. But it was all of the other things that kind of started, and then when you post to them, when you post to Nextdoor and you post an address, when you post to LinkedIn, I've created a LinkedIn page, and every time you post that, it pushes your photos up to the top of Google. And so that's why I try to, almost every single day, we post something on our social media. Not quite, I don't always have the time, but I try to schedule it out. because of that reason, because it just keeps pushing it on top of Google. And then we just pop up. So like we have here 67 leads came from Google. The majority of those were no dollars behind them. The Google verification portal, we spend very little money kind of just boosting that.
Sure.
But so most of those are just our Google listing.
Thumbtack is pretty big.
Thumbtack, we have 45. So
do you do a lot of repairs on Thumbtack or just full replacements?
Mostly. We do some repairs, but we've done a lot of full replacements too. So, yeah.
50-50.
So, and let's just say, like, we have 13 here closed out of Thumbtack.
That's awesome.
That's a lot of work. Let's say if that's 7 houses, Thumbtack isn't that costly. I think we spend $600 a month. I think I have it at 600.
And we're gonna go in deep. So every Friday in this program, we're gonna go into marketplaces mastery. So like Thumbtack, we'll go 4 or 5 weeks just mastering that. How to reply, how to win more jobs, how to dominate that platform. And our approach is very simple. I mean, I love this guy because he's consistent. So many guys in business, in marketing, are the same as they are at the gym. You know, you were fit and you were very active when you were young, and then life happens. You have kids, you have work, and you start abandoning it. But marketing cannot be abandoned in your business. Like if you don't do what he does, if you don't do something every day, like for me, gym is you go there every day if you want to stay fit. And if you quit on your gym 6 years ago, you're not overnight going to become fit again. And it doesn't matter how many YouTube videos you'll watch, what do you know? It's not what you know, it's what you do. You have to do something every single day. And you need a plan and you need a guide. So what we do actually every Monday is social media day. Every Monday we're gonna show you like what you should be posting. Like if you're as a business owner, not creating posts over Christmas, for example, if you don't have a Christmas card, Thanksgiving, Memorial Day, all of those holidays, I mean, that's what big brands do. Do you think Apple does it or Tesla by accident celebrate and do something special on that day in social media? You have to recognize the trend. I mean, National Pizza Day should be celebrated in your business because you cannot be always selling. You have to be engaging with your community and you have to be active. You have to be human and you have to just go and get it done every single day. Maybe it's 5-10 minutes a day, but you have to keep moving. That's marketing fitness for me.
Yeah, well, and there's something else to add for Thumbtack. For instance, you can spend $1,000 a month on Thumbtack and get 100 leads, and if you're not instant on Thumbtack, they're going to push you to the bottom. And that, to add to that, is when we hired JT. Was JT here? He was here when you were here last, right? We had just hired him, and we were like, man, we can't afford to hire someone just to sit there and answer the phone and follow up with Thumbtack, but we can't afford not to because. Yeah. Thumbtack pushed us to the top because guess what? He gets that on the phone, on his email. That lead, it's 5 seconds later, he's reaching out.
Exactly.
And so if you don't have somebody to pick up that phone, I always tell them that phone shouldn't ring more than 3 times. Should never hit the 3rd ring. Like if you don't have somebody actively working your lines and your leads coming in while they're hot, you're going to
waste it. And most businesses have a receptionist problem, not lead generation problem. When people tell me they don't have leads, immediately ask them, do you have a receptionist? If the answer is no, my follow-up question is, who answers your phone calls? I do. Well, how fast do you get back to customer when you are with the customer, you're busy, you're meeting adjuster, you're meeting homeowner, you're picking up check, you're on the phone with someone. Because if you did not get back to them, let me know if you agree.
Somewhere else.
Yeah, but next day it's a cold call. They don't know who you are next day. Yep. They will call you, email you today, asking for a quote. You return the call next day, next Monday, next morning. It's a cold call. They don't remember you. They already have 3 estimates coming in, and you just lost the business. And you might have paid $200 for that lead, and they don't want to know you. Average business in the United States, average response time is 48 hours for business to get back to customer. Like I'm talking about like customer supports and stuff. If you try to return 48 hours. Expectancy, consumer expectancy is 10 minutes. That's the gap. And I would say if you don't return phone call within 5 minutes, you're already losing, especially on a platform that shares leads. I also want to comment on Thumbtack, what you just said. The reason he's so successful in Thumbtack is because algorithm, and goes for all modern algorithms for majority of the platforms, it pushes responsive users to the top. The faster you respond, the faster you answer the phone calls, and like even for Google, you can get Google guaranteed. If people message you through Google guarantee and you're not replying, Google will stop promoting you because Google only charges you for the leads that you connect. And if you're not responsive, Google gonna punish you and they're gonna push someone else. And by the way, that does not cost you more. You already should have a person answering. So you can't, it's like fitness and diet. You cannot outwork bad diet. So you cannot outwork bad receptionist. If your receptionist is not on point, it doesn't matter how much you spend on marketing, you will never have leads because you're going to be wasting majority of them.
Yeah, and think about when you call someone, it's like my biggest pet peeve is calling a business and they don't answer. And like I will keep going down the list. So if I want, say, a truck cap, I've had this happen, and I looked up like 3 Line X dealers. I called 2 of them, no answer. I keep going down the list, and now the ones we work with, they are further away than any one of them. But guess what? That manager, I have her cell phone number. I text her when we have orders. It's because of the communication. I'm not going to wait around for someone to answer. And most companies will either move on or just, because none of us, we live in an instant world. And if you're not answering that phone, or if someone is not answering that phone, then they're just going to keep calling, which is, again, something else I learned from Benjamin at Roof Tiger is like, we have 24-hour phone service. Someone is always going to answer our phone. It doesn't matter if you call at 1 a.m., someone's going to, and it's an American person. And so it just,
In the business world, we have this debate, what's more important, marketing or sales? And my answer to it always was marketing. Some business owners think that sales will fix everything. The reality is sales are easy when you're good at marketing and branding. When you have, like, compare it to me, your door knocking experience, because I know you guys do a little bit of door knocking versus call leads. When people call you, when you're phone, you have all leverage in the world, and it's so much easier to close deals and run a business when you have consistent flow of leads. Talk to me about like door knocking versus.
So our door knocking leads here is 12. And it has a 3 on jobs 1. I know for a fact that's not right.
Here's what I want to know. We have, especially in the roofing industry, we have little fight between storm chasing contractors and door knockers versus retail companies, retail business owners, and people who door knock. They consider themselves hustlers, and they often call disrespectfully or mockingly sales guys who like running leads, like leads babies. And leads, if you generate a lot of leads, for sure will make you softer and lazier because it's low-hanging fruit. You probably have experienced it too, because once you start getting a lot of leads, it will affect your culture immediately. You'll have to adapt. You still have to make your salespeople accountable and stuff. But how much easier is to sell a residential lead that have been called to you versus you door knocked?
I would say it's easier if you get called, because in door knocking, you have to win the person over, and everyone's always answering their doors on the defense. And by the way, there's a lot of bad ways to answer to do door knocking. I have on my Ring camera recently in our neighborhood, someone posted in the Ring chat, thing about like, please don't answer your phone when this guy calls. Like this guy's, and there was a roofing guy, and I couldn't see with the logo on the shirt or anything, but the guy just like walked right up and is like banging on the door and like actually checked the door handle. And it's like, okay, you can't do that. So like it was a very kind of aggressive approach. And
what was he trying to do? If the door is open, like.
Yeah, but when you think of that scenario, and then people see that, or they hear that, or they experience that one time, now the next door guy that comes along, their walls are already up, so you have to break those walls down. Versus when they're calling in, they're super hot. They probably have looked up something from your company. They probably know a little bit about you. So I think it's easier potentially. However, I think it's What we've learned now is we provided so many leads for our guys. Now, coming into summer, it's a little slower on the lead part, so they're picking up their door knocking, and it's almost like you kind of have to, hey, get out there again, because you made it so easy for them. And where before it was just a norm, you just knock on doors. But that being said,
they both work. And when you have a leads and you're already in neighborhoods, it's introduction.
Mm-hmm.
You introducing yourself to neighbors versus cold calling or cold door knocking in neighborhoods you don't have any presence.
Awareness. Well, but door knocking works. Dylan got 4 this week. Literally, this is what, Wednesday?
Yeah.
He got four,
Awesome.
not 4 customers he talked to. I'm talking about 4 estimates out from door knocking. And I don't know how many doors he knocked. I should ask him that. But it's like door knocking, you can get a quicker turnaround sometimes and you don't always have as many competitors to compete against versus if they're calling you on Google, maybe they called 2 or 3 other people. I think they all work, but I think what we're finding out, it's a little bit of both. That creates a really systematic flow.
And we're going to cover that for sure. We will cover door knocking. I actually warming up to door knocking a lot, and I want to be a better door knocker myself. But I want to give you guys advice. If you coming from the place where you don't know marketing, you've never advertised, you're not considering yourself marketing. Marketing for me it's my nature. It's my strongest suit. For all of my businesses, I've always been in the marketing position. Now, if you, just like with the analogy with the gym, if you've never market anything in your life and you're going to join the program, if you go to the gym for the first time, first 2 weeks you're going to be sore, but you're going to start seeing immediate results. I like what he said. Summertime, leads are slowing down. So you're going to see huge progress very fast. And it doesn't matter how busy your market is. People say Dallas is competitive. All marketers are competitive. Nashville is competitive market. There's tons of companies everywhere. The good thing is most companies are lazy. They don't do what they're supposed to be doing. So if you take this approach and you do something every single day, within first 3 months, you're going to have great results. And then you're going to start cruising. And maybe just like with the fitness, sometimes you don't feel like going to the gym. Sometimes you don't feel like going, but marketing only gets easier. I'll give you an example. My company, Storm Group Roofing, I don't think they've had session for the past photo session for the past 5-6 years. If you Google my company, you will see reviews everywhere because first you work on your marketing and then your marketing works on you, right? First you work on your muscles and then your muscles give you this metabolism that you can eat anything you want, you can drink more than other people can drink because your body gonna metabolize it way faster. So first you work on muscle mass, and guess what? If you wanna slow down, if I work out 5 times a week, twice a day for 3 years, then I can switch to 3 days and I'm not gonna be less fitter, I'm still gonna be fit because I already built muscle, I already have metabolism. It takes years for me to lose it. The same with marketing. You give it 2 years. You build those reviews, you build those platforms, and then you just enjoy the ride. It only gets cheaper and it gets easier over time. So first, I want to set up a proper expectation. You're going to go up very fast. You're going to be sore. If you've never managed Facebook, if you've never done ads before, you've never have a YouTube channel, it'll be shocking and hard for you to turn on a camera and talk. But I'll give you words to put in your mouth. We will tell you exactly what to do. We'll give you the best examples. So it'll be easier. You have a coach now. You don't have to figure out by yourself. And then you start cruising and then it'll go down a little bit, but guess what? It'll be okay. $1.5 million in 3 months. That's impressive. You know how many clients I have all over the country? We have 420 students in a school. And this is top 5% results. And the difference is doing the activity, actually posting in. How much time do you think you're spending on marketing? Like daily?
Daily? Not even 10 minutes. Because in everything marketing wise is online. Everything social media wise is online. So you can sit there. So I'll sit there once a week. Titus, right? I did it yesterday. I'm like, Titus, do you have some graphics? Do you have some stuff for me to work with? I'll sit there and I'll spend 30 minutes and I schedule it and post it to every platform that I can. And then I go back to doing whatever I'm going to do for the next week. And then I just go, like right now I have it scheduled until I think next week. And then next Monday, I'll sit down again, I'll grab some more and do some. And so it's not a lot of time. And there's one thing I want to say, like, for people who think like, hey, I don't have the time, I'm just going to hire a marketing company. Here's one thing we have experienced with marketing companies using the same thing. So we have tested, I do a little bit of Google AdWords for commercial now because I'm testing that out. Then we had this marketer do some Google AdWords. Same thing, except they're writing the copy and I'm writing my copy or whatever. And same way with this Google verification. What the difference in leads we're getting is for their leads, we got some calls from California. We got a lead. Most of the leads, honestly, were like people were like, we never put our information anywhere. So there's got to be something with marketing companies that they're using bots of some sort. So to the people who think like, well, I don't have time, it's so little time and the quality of leads are so much better than if we go outsource to a marketing company and pay them $2,000 or $5,000 a month. You can do that yourself as an owner or whatever. I'm the owner. I do not think for a second that I don't have a million things to do every day. But I've learned like if I just plug in a little bit and I turn that knob and I tweak it constantly, let's say 10 minutes a day. Let's say you come in at 8 in the morning, from 8 till 8:10 in the morning, you just tweak that knob, adjust it, look at your stats. You're going to do so much better if you do everything else that you've told me to do than any marketing company, no matter what they tell you they can do out there. Period. End of story.
10, 15 minutes a day equals to 1 hour at the gym every day. Like if you do that, you will be marketing fit. And my comment to that also is no one knows your business like you do. Those marketers that you're hiring oftentimes are kids in mom's basements who don't have education, don't know your business, don't know your space, don't know your keywords, don't know your target audience. You already know it better than them. There's two things I believe firmly you should not be outsourcing. One is you can have partners and you can have specialists, but you should not outsource your marketing. It should be inside your house, inside your business job, and accounting. Accounting is very dangerous to outsource. I mean, it's one thing to do taxes and CPAs, but something like payroll, payable, receivables, you should manage your money because that's where most thefts are happening, where someone has access to your books, that's where mistakes happening, and the list goes on. And marketing, the same thing. It's okay to hire like videographer, a photographer for certain projects. It's okay to hire someone to do like maybe a quality ad for TV or radio. But those are specialists. But everyday stuff, become your own marketer and then delegate to people who are competent with the tasks.
Find you as many Omers as you can. It's finding people that are better at stuff than you are and putting them in place. Change the course of this company.
So the program goes like this. It's 5 days a week. Think about this as at the gym you have chest day, leg day. So every Monday is a social media day. So we do a solid session exercise on social media. Tuesday, it's a search engine day. Something for Google to be discovered. When people Google you, how do they find you? How do you show up on a search, consumer search? Wednesday is a general marketing. We'll talk about traditional form of marketing. It could be vehicle wraps, billboards, flyers, print, TV. It's Wednesday day. I'll show you the best examples from people all over the country. Like print, for example, is very good in Florida. I'll give you those examples. I'll show you people who are doing it, killing it. And then Thursday, it's my favorite day is a video content day. Every Thursday, we're gonna film a video. It could be ad, it could be YouTube video, Facebook video. I'll tell you exactly what kind of video you should make that day. We'll make it together. I'll give you the script. I'll give you instructions how to film it. And every Thursday, please don't skip Thursdays because people would rather watch than read these days. People read less and less. They listen and watch more and more. And if you understand it, you will be in front of the search as well because even Google shows videos on the first page of Google now. When people Google your company, you should have company showing up on the first page of Google with the video. And Friday, we're gonna do mastery of marketplaces. We'll take one marketplace at a time. Could be Thumbtack, could be Yelp, could be Facebook, whatever. And if it's a marketplace, if you can get jobs from it, like directory, we'll do mastery exercise. Here's what you can do at Thumbtack that you're probably not doing now. I'll give you the exercise. If you're already in Thumbtack, you just apply it, try it. So every day, if you stay with this course for 6-7 months, I'll put it this way. I have guys like Ephraim all over the country now. I can name like Monarch Roofing. Roof Tiger was in my studio yesterday, Benjamin. He said when he started the same thing. He watched one of the videos of Roofing Insights. He said 5 things you should do when you open a roofing company. Wrap the vehicle, and he pretty much followed all 5 of them and immediately started having leads. And he's like, and to this day, he spends $1,500 a month on SEO. He doesn't spend any money on Google. They do $5-6 million a year now in the company. $3,000 a month budget between Solar Panther and Roof Tiger. 2 companies, $3,000 a month. He's the one who's managing it. It's all organic SEO. He does articles, he pushes content, he's really good on social media, he does everything with it. And guys like them never have problems with leads. And we have them in every state, in every major city. And then in every state, every major city, we also have people who say, we don't have leads, it's too busy, competition is too big, and they just cannot get it.
Yeah, my only thing that I would say too is like, we did billboards when we had a name change. I had so many guys call me and be like, it doesn't work, it's a waste of money. And we get calls off billboards every month. And whether or not we close them, I don't know. But it's the idea of the image, the brand. And I wouldn't have pushed it as much if we weren't changing the name. Mm-hmm. But it's so direct mail, same thing. I've had so many people tell me direct mail doesn't work. I got a direct mail poster or flyer at my house the other week or other month or whatever it was. And it was this landscape company. Never heard of them before in my life, never thought of them, wouldn't have called them, nothing. I got this flyer, I threw it away, looked at it, threw it away. Guess what I noticed the next week? I noticed one of their trucks in downtown Nashville. I noticed one of their trucks in Ashland City, 30 minutes out. Like, I started seeing their trucks everywhere. It's getting that, just like Roof Tiger. You think Tiger. For us, it's our green and black colors. It's a Glick name. People now start, and so many people are so scared to take a little bit of chance and spend a little bit of money to push their brand, and then you end up with nothing. Ultimately, you just end up closing your doors eventually because you can't keep them open. It's like, why not take the risk and wrap a vehicle? Or, yeah, it's expensive, but so what?
Agreed. Well, I want to finish on this thought. Investing in marketing is risky, but not investing is riskier. My favorite quote about marketing always has been, forgot his last name is very long. I cannot give credit at the moment, but the quote goes like this: half of the monies I spend on marketing is wasted. The problem is I don't know which half. So unless you try it, unless you spend money on it, like I'm looking at this list, like billboards, whatever, try it. Maybe you will waste money, but guess what? If it works, you will use it and abuse it for the rest of the days until it stops working. So if you spend $10,000 on marketing and $5,000 is wasted, guess what? Other $5,000 is going to make you money. But the way marketing gets better, we live in a world that changes super fast. Today we're on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram. 5-10 years from now, they might become what MySpace became. Nobody knows it, right? So platforms come and go. In 2013, 90% of my business were coming from Angels List. In 2018, Angels List, I was not even present on Angels List. So it changed, but principles don't change. Today we have Directory in a rise, few other platforms. Platforms will come and go. Your job is to understand where attention is and catch that attention, those eyeballs on your business, and convert it into business. And this is exactly what we're going to do with Marketing Fitness. You're going to get fitter. You're going to get fitter. You need to hit a gym.
I know. I'm that person you described earlier. I get busy and I don't go.
All right, guys. That's all for the program. Sign up below. If you have any questions, send us a message. And we'll see you guys inside.